So then, since we are now uh, have started the meeting and the recording, I want to bid you all welcome to this organizational meeting of the African World Match English-speaking group. Just to put everyone in context of why we are doing this meeting and what it's all about, then in this meeting we will keep on discussing and developing the multiple activities for peace and non-violence of the World 3 African project, like has been mentioned, peace marches, sport events, conferences, peace signs, and we will talk about what we need to do these activities, like the banners and T-shirts and so on, the necessities of material. We will also make a point of discussing and develop further the ethical statement, which is a very interesting part of this third world march. That is where in universities and colleges, and not least in the primary schools, there we are inviting the students at all levels to make a pledge never to use the knowledge they acquire to harm other human beings, and we will discuss this later on. Then even very importantly, and the heart of the matter is that in the meeting also, the participants, they have the opportunity to share their preparations for those activities and their plans in their areas, and then we will have some session for questions and answers. So we can start, I think, having these formalities of introduction done. And I want to ask you, Antonio, would you, like you have done, and because many things are always happening around the world, much in the world, can you put us in the picture of put us in the bigger picture of the development of the World March worldwide?
Yes. First of all, hi everybody. Sorry that I am not chatty as in other occasions because I'm trying to edit something that I am having problems with the computer. But those frustrations we all have at one point or another. What is happening in the world? I mean, I would say that people in general, our friends in all the continents, are very excited about the proximity of the World March, because it's an event that we all wanted to be successful, and obviously is so wide, and it can have so many different manifestations that the responsibility has to go to each and every one of us. It's not something that there is a small team of organizers who will deal in a planetary level with everything, because that's impossible. And so what I notice is that there is a big buzz, that people are exchanging information in different places, advancing plans, and concentrating very much in what they have to do. I mean, what they are scheduled and committed to do. So it's a positive moment, but they are not particular things that everybody can direct their attention into. It's not that way. And we have progressed in terms of the World Forum. The web page is starting to operate. We have again technicalities that resolved, and the people who are really experts in that matter have not been very easy to access, because it's a period of vacations here in Europe, and lots of people travel and they are away and they have to see the families, etc. But we are progressing well, and we are also advancing contacts with different institutions, and in some countries in Asia where I am linked with. One is Nepal, another one is Sri Lanka, another one is Bangladesh, and also Pakistan and India indirectly, because one way or another you have to pass across through India to these other destinations. They are all advancing in the World March, because as soon as it leaves Africa, it will go into Asia. And after Asia, it will come to Europe. So it's quite dynamic, all this exercise. Or perhaps it's the other way around. We'll go into Asia, after that it will come to Europe. Yeah, that's right. So what I would like very much is because we learn from each other, is what you are planning to do, in which way you have progressed your very general plans that we discussed like 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure that you have made some more progress into fine tuning your ideas, and in contacting people that you think should be part of the teams, etc. So the word is back with you all. Who wants to explain first?
Maybe I go ahead.
Yes, of course,
Yeah,
Gert.
Captain, please.
Right. So we've been moving things, with our plan of this run against gender-based violence. And what we are proposing now is like 26th, 28th, and 30th of November, 26th in Nairobi, 28th in Kisumu, and 30th in Mwanza. And we are gonna start to advertise this the next weekend, trying to get a group of people from Iceland, women mostly. We are also looking into having a bus, and we got a good price, I believe, for a bus driving from Nairobi to Kisumu, then Kisumu to Mwanza, then the World March, and this specific thing with the gender-based violence.
Mhm.
Tracy is booking radio interviews for us in August when we go there to talk about this in Nairobi. We have a online meeting with the manager of Tekla, this famous Kenyan runner, this woman. She's in Paris herself for the Olympics.
Uh-huh.
We're going to talk to her manager about her participating.
Mm-hmm.
So things are moving well. We will be in August. We'll be in 24th. We are arriving. We'll go straight to Kisumu for the 25th and the 26th. We're going to go from there to Mwanza with a meeting on the 29th, and then back to Nairobi for where we'll be on the 30th and the 31st of August. So this is the plan, and I think it's just looking good.
Very good, very exciting. And then what? And then when the March comes, there is another sort of series of activities, or this is that you have advanced the dates.
Well, we are just like, I mean, we haven't heard any exact dates about Kenya and Tanzania for the World March, but it's thought ought to be a part of the World March, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Right.
That's excellent. So, yeah, very consistent activities, 5 or 6 days of very concentrated efforts. A bus that is taking you from place to place, a combination of Icelandic friends and Kenyans, and maybe some other countries in the area. And well,
Who knows? Who knows?
Brilliant. Who knows?
Ragnar has raised his hand. Please, Ragnar, you want to?
One thing. I had a meeting with Antonio, Tracy, and more. We have weekly meeting, and you are having a group where you're chatting with Tracy about to organize, and she's always asking me what you are talking about. So can you add me to that group?
Well, Tracy was going to do it. She talked to me today about it. And
No,
we just started this a couple of days ago just because
No.
to be specifically around this project. And the idea is to bring other people into it soon, but just to focus on this.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
I've already added him. He's on the group.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Okay, I have to drive a little bit, and I want to say something. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ragnar. So
Who is Anthony, Tracy? Who else is next?
well, nobody has raised a hand, but anyway, I think we are opening now the floor for any of you who want to tell something about your plans of the activities you are planning in your areas. So shouldn't we let the ball go rolling now? So please, who wants to start? Kittery, please. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
So I'm so delighted as far as the progress is concerned, especially for the Nairobi team, who I've seen K. Jatan saying that they are making a lot of plans of how they'll come to Nairobi, then proceed to Kisumu. So, okay, I'm a new member, and I think we also had a conversation with Mr. Julius, and I was also wishing if they would also have incorporated some of us, because where I am in Kakamega County, it's almost a 20 to 25 minutes drive to Kisumu. So as I had shared earlier with Mr. Julius, that with my colleagues and my team members, we also wanted to be part and parcel of the activities that are going to take place in Kenya so that we are not left out.
Mm-hmm.
And I shared with him that we were planning of a sport and a game activity where we wanted to organize a football tournament. And then we were also talking about the dances and the music theater, so that we are going to organize a group of youths who are going to initiate music and dances that are going to promote peace and unity. And then we are going to have a recording which will be translated to different languages. And then it's going to promote a lot of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
activities, especially in Africa and beyond. So my desire was...
Kittery,
Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
now we can. It cut a bit, but now it's clear.
Okay.
yes,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yeah, just in brief, like if...
Now we cannot hear you.
When I'm... Okay.
Kitter, we are
If I
not
can finish now,
hearing
like
you.
in those activities that you're planning, especially in Kenya, Nairobi, and Kisumu environment.
We are not getting you, Kitter. Yeah, we are not hearing you.
I'm sorry for... can you hear me? I'm sorry. There was a network default, but it's okay right
Can
now.
you tell us maybe a little
So...
bit about your organization? Because you are working with children and youth, and more or less,
okay.
you know, what your aims are with your members and the children.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. So I'm working with the Victoria's Youth Mentorship Group, which is a community-based organization, which
Oh,
we founded in the year 2020. I actually shared the... Hello?
yes, please.
Yeah, you will forgive me. There is a network default a little, but
Yeah,
I think I'm now clear. Sorry for the inconveniences.
it's not your
So
fault.
yeah, I hope you can bear with me.
No problem.
Yeah, so as I had said earlier, that it was founded in 2020, and then the purpose of the organization was to promote the mental state and well-being of the youths and the society, the gender-based violence awareness and prevention, and then the third one, civic rights, education and advocacy, and then the fourth one, public speaking and mentorship programs, and then the second last is talent acquisition and development. And then the last one is the economic empowerment initiatives in terms of skills nurturing. And then most of the activities that we incorporate in our community-based organization, there are sports and games, plays and drama, photography and videography. And then we also do motivational speaking, and we also promote dances and music, and especially in forums that are in universities and sometimes at religious places. And sometimes we also invite motivational speakers to promote advocacy on civil rights and mental awareness to the youth. Those are some of the things we do
Yeah.
in our community-based organization.
Yeah. How many
Yeah.
how many children and how many youth are active in this process?
Okay, we had 50. We have 130. The combination of the youths and children are 130 who are actively involved. But when we create an event or we initiate an event, we get a backing of so many youths and other people joining us. Yeah, sometimes they can shoot to 500, 300, depending in the place we are organizing that event. So if it is a university, you can get that the attendance can be more. Sometimes it can even shoot to 1,000 and plus. But those who are actively involved at each and every point is 130. And then we also have the leadership. We have a president. We also have a secretary general. We have a secretary and a treasurer. Yeah, I actually shared the our constitution with Mr. Julius, and he can bear with
Yeah,
me
we
here.
can. Yeah, we could share this constitution later in the group of World
Yeah,
March.
so
Yeah,
so
very good.
as I finish, my desire was that we also want to be part and parcel of the humanist movement, and when these activities are being planned, we should also be part and parcel of it, so that we also feel that we can also give an impact on our societies. Yeah, and that will be a pleasure. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. It sounds very complementary of many of the things that we propose also, because it has to do with education, has to do with sports, has to do with moral or ethical standing, and developing in all its ways. And in this specific action that is a world march, is an ethical message, and is a message that comes from the grassroots of our societies, explaining that we don't want any more violence in the world. It's a powerful message, and it's a message with which every citizen in the world can connect. And yes, the problems are nothing to become more compound everywhere. And if we don't change our mentality, if we do not change our ethics and the way that we look at each other, if in fact we do not stand seeing the other one as our own brother or sister and treating them as we like to be treated, we are going to have in the years to come lots of problems, because the population of the world keeps growing, the environment keeps being destroyed, and therefore we'll have to share the resources with many, many more people. That's why it's so important to change the mentality, consumerism, and thinking only about oneself. Of course, we have to satisfy all our basic needs. And in that way, the world needs to become urgently a more fair and just place. It's not possible that a few people concentrate all the resources and the vast majority doesn't have the basics to survive. That is unacceptable. But that will happen only when everyone and everywhere start to change the way of thinking. That's why education is so important in all the levels. And it's a generation of the children that you are having or working with. is the people who are going to change this world. It's estimated that towards the end of the century, that means in 75 years' time, another 2 billion people will live in the planet. At the moment, we are 8.2 billion, and we are going to be 10.2 billion. And it will continue growing, because if that number of people keeps growing, will be 15 billion. So it's obvious that to live in this planet, we'll have to change the manner of doing things, everything. Nobody can pretend that it doesn't understand or that has other priorities, etc. We all have to take responsibility. That will require very profound changes in society, in our ways to produce and to distribute the benefits of work everywhere. We have to finish colonialism, and all the different nations and regions have to be treated equally, and so on and so forth. Lots of changes. And that has to be approached clearly and in all its words. There is nothing to hide, because the change is necessary, is fundamental. And wherever we see a social or political order unjust, it has to be changed. And for that, United Nations will have to be changed, and many other international organizations, and countries have to be equal and have to all team up to resolve the problems that affect us all. So it's an exciting time. No nonsense time, and no violence time. So it's difficult, that equation, because traditionally we have thought that to resolve problems, we have to kill the person next to us, or destroy I don't know whom. No, that game is not on. No violence. So lots of intelligence and lots of looking inwards and looking at ourselves before condemning the person next door. That's really the humanist view.
Yeah.
Cannot
Thank you
be
very
achieved
much. Yeah,
overnight, but we are moving
very
in that
nice.
direction.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So thank you very much, Antonio, for your input. And someone else wants to tell about his or her plans. Please,
Yeah, I would just like to add on what Antonio is saying.
yes, please, Dorothy. Yes, welcome with that.
I think the way Antonio has talked, this thing we have to also look it on a perspective of children. Me being a director of a school, and the other time when I was talking with Julius, I say that we can start it even with children who still don't know how to talk, but they can draw and model and scribble. Yeah, whereby I was saying that on my side for the Humanist World Peace Day, can organize with the children. We do some painting, whereby children draw and paint on how they want the world to look like.
Beautiful.
Then we can put these pictures together and take them a photo, and then they can be joined to be in our documentation. Because as we see things should be starting from the children. And if we train these children, they will come up knowing that the better world we want. Another
That's
thing I wanted to ask
right.
Antonio is, Antonio, what is the concept of the day? What is the hashtag for that big day on November? What is the theme?
What day in November, Dorothy?
I'm asking, what are we having as our hashtag? Like, what is the theme?
I cannot see. You are talking to me in some jargon that you, as a specialist in education and informatics, probably for you is very meaningful. I don't know what is the
It's a
hashtag
social
or the
media
thing.
term. It's a social media term. Hashtag.
Yeah, but what is in November? What do we expect in November? In November, we
World
are going to
March.
have the World
World
March
March.
here. Yes, I
What,
get it.
what
Yeah.
is the, yeah, I was asking what is the like in a summary?
Yeah,
Yes.
Like
that is.
what
Yeah,
is
that.
I
the
think
word
I
in a
can help.
summary?
What are the slogans that
Dorothy.
we are going to use? And
The slogan.
we opposed to all forms of violence, and we are pushing
Mm,
that ethical statement where children, since they are young at school, they commit that never ever they will use the knowledge that they are learning in that particular school, etc.,
mm,
against other human beings. So it's an ethical, or it's a
mm,
moral statement, it's a commitment that they do publicly, about the behavior in the future. And this type of things, and now that you are accompanying all that with drawings and with the color creative sort of activity, they could elaborate a lot about that objective. We are for peace, we are for non-violence, we are trying to prevent an atomic conflict or a massive war that can destroy so many human lives. And we want the recognition of the fundamental human rights of all human beings, because it has been said and declaimed and proclaimed and blah, 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 and they cheat everywhere and they don't implement it. All the political regimes in the world, starting from the Americans.
Yes, yes.
They have more fair societies, amazingly enough, the societies who have gone through immediate and massive process of change, like the Chinese, like the Russians, that have brought themselves down the system that has prevailed in the past and have replaced it. They have greater disponibility to change. The people that are completely solid in the same manner of doing things, that are normally the big powers, because the powers don't want to change because they benefit of the status quo. If I am in command and in control of half of humanity, of course I don't want to change. I want them to do what I am saying. You see, it's like a little mafias everywhere. That has to change, and the children has to grow up with another mentality. So I would say that the slogans have to be peace, non-violence in our personal behavior and in society around us, and we have to treat other people as we like to be treated.
I think that one is great.
Thank you. Trigger has put
Thank you
up
so
his
much.
hand. Trigger has put up his hand, and then after that, after we hear him, I will read a message that Abel Siro has written in the in the chat box. So Trigger, please let us hear what you want to say.
Yeah, once more, good evening to everyone. I'm happy to be here once more. It's a privilege and it's a wonderful time. And in respect to our day and the Well Match Day coming up, we back here in Cameroon decided to participate in our own way, and that's to visit orphanages. Most especially, we have one in mind for now, the St. Victoria Orphanage, which is present in Fako, Boya. We wish to carry out activities like paintings, dancing, and even drama to commence that day. It's a successful one, and it's with a great pleasure and honor to be part of this wonderful movement, because in the world we live today, we face many difficulties. People are out there going through things that they can't even, we can't know about it unless someone on ground goes to them to find out. And it makes it very difficult for some people. Some even end up losing their lives in that state. Meanwhile, there are people out there who are willing to help, to stretch a helping hand to them, but the means was not there. And I would like to say it's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Sir Julius, and the rest of the team. I really appreciate. As for now, while we wait to the deal day, we keep on preparing our activities on the low as we strive forward to that day's success. Thank you.
Yes, and
Very good, Trigger. Very good. Very
Trigger
good.
is talking from Cameroon, where he's working with a great number of orphanages.
Yes, so important.
moving
I
on
hope
our
that after
project.
these events, we are going to be able to integrate in the context of the World Forum many activities that people are doing in different parts of the world that have to do with education, have to do with teaching the younger, have to do with personal work that will help us to open up the future. Have you noticed that when you are sad, when you are depressed, it seems that everything closes up to you as your own senses? You don't see the light You don't see the joy of life. You don't see the attraction of other human beings with all the passions and the intensity of their energy. You seem to not see anything. You start to go back, and you end up completely within yourself. That is a not a good condition for the human being. We have to be able to recognize our internal states, and we have to be able to modify our internal states. As when you get to a dark room, you know where to switch the light, and suddenly everything comes to life.
Yeah.
Where it was dark, something like that. You
Very
notice
nice.
that you are
Yeah.
down, and you will know which switches to trigger in your own heart and in your own mind, and suddenly everything else open up, and you are happy again. And you have to teach these things to others and to others, and the children since they are little, etc., etc. So we'll become very powerful, we human beings, everywhere, because those points of control are within ourselves, and they don't cost any money. It's for free. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Thank you very much, Antonio. This was really educating.
Mm.
And I will allow myself now to read Abel's message to us. And it is the following. It is possible to march across Africa for peace and non-violence. We can have many other countries on board. Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, where we have base and contacts. We can have peace activities in all these countries and stations. We can reach cities and towns like Nairobi, Nakuru, Kisumu, Kakamega, Gulu, northern Uganda, and then down Kampala City, Mubende, and Mabara, Rubavu in Rwanda, Kigali City, then into Burundi's Kiteka, Bujumbura City, Rumonge, enter Tanzania, Moshi, Arusha, Nairobi, and there then. So this is a very interesting.
A good piece of Africa.
Yeah, no, it's really great.
Those type of plants we like.
No, it's really great.
Because we are so connected in so many ways. I mean,
Yeah.
and there are so many common elements as well.
Yes,
That
yes,
that is extremely powerful.
yeah,
There, you know that two weeks ago we had a session, we had a forum, because we are dividing the forum into different topics. And the presenters of that second forum, many of you couldn't contact that day. We did everything by Zoom. And it was the question whether colonialism is a thing of the past or not. That could we say that colonialism is over? The colonialism, you know, is a domination of one country by others. And for example, South America, where I was born, and many other people, and Africa have been colonial continents, regions of the planet. The Spaniards, the British, the Dutch, the Germans, everybody, the French, everybody was pillaging and coming and taking and enslaving and robbing. And that happens for hundreds of years. And so today we find it more difficult to progress and to accumulate wealth and to live like the Europeans, because all the capital of those regions and all the resources have accumulated in Europe and in the United States. And of course, we are all poor, and it's difficult for all of us. But that situation is changing. We have to get the laws to be respected, and we had to the morality of the governors in all parts of the world to change. So we are into a revolution that is comprehensive, but is non-violent. Before, until now, revolutions, that means to change things, were supposed to need to be violent. We cannot accept that. We cannot afford that. Has to be the rights of one another has to be recognized because of a change in the mentality and the morality and in the understanding of things. And that is very powerful. That has never happened before in humanity, especially in the scale that we have today. Because for the first time in human history, we are all interconnected. We are all part of the same group. Nobody can run home and forget about the rest. because the rest will reach you through communication, through resources, through energy, through everything, because all is interconnected. It's a nervous system that is developing in a creature that is becoming grown up. That is humanity. You cannot remove an eye because you don't want to see something or other. You cannot remove an arm. No, it's all with you. It's all or nothing. So it's quite a special moment that we are living in. And we need a good change of mentality in the way of thinking. But we can do at the same time so many things for each other's benefit.
Thank you for this input, Antonio.
I get inspired only because I see you all and the things that you are planning and the way you talk.
Yeah. No, it's so
Yeah.
so. You are a big lexicon from your long-lasting experience in the humanist movement from the day one in the
To share.
mountain. Yeah,
All to share.
yeah. So please, if I think would be very interesting because time is a little bit going from us. That if you could we could have, please, those who want to say even brief words, basically about they want to do in their areas, please, step forward. Please raise hand. Amara, please. Welcome. You are muted now, Amara. You want to tell us about your plan in Sierra Leone, please?
Yes, Julius. Yes, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, I could remember the last time we heard this meeting, I think 2 weeks ago. I told this forum that I have to go back to some of my colleagues and some lecturers in my university because, by the way, I'm a university student. I'm in the second year. I'm pursuing Bachelor of Science degree in Public Health. So, like I promised, I have done my best, and I was able to share a feedback with Julius last Saturday. So, what we've discussed so far during my meeting with some of my colleagues in in the programs and some lecturers in my department, we've discussed so far that we've loved to organize 3 days events that we've run for 3 days. So some of the activities we highlighted will be run thus far. Like for day one of the event, we've said we are going to have a peace march where we've seen students and lecturers marching around the cities for peace and non-violence. That is an activity specified for day one. Then day two, we are planning that we should have a football competition that will be among students and lecturers. That will be so much full of fun and amazing to observe. So we'll be
Sorry to
bringing together
interrupt you.
lecturers and
Perhaps, sorry, Mara, but this is something that Antonio Bala is also a specialist. He has organized big events for years.
Yeah.
And I am just mentioning it to you since you are in two countries. It would be very interesting if you can create some synergies or exchange some experience and eventually join some activities.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yes. Okay. So that is the activities for the day two, and of course, the final day, which is the third day, we are planning to organize a symposium where we will also bring students and lecturers to discuss the topic that says that we give the opportunity to students and lecturers to got on the panel discussion to discuss the dynamics of gender-based violence and peace among students and lecturers in public universities across the country. So these are some of the activities we are planning to organize. So during my meeting with with Julius last Saturday, he suggested that if we could involve the student union of my university, so the student union now we champion these activities by bringing another public university across Sierra Leone instead of us focusing on one university. So he suggested. So I consented, but then we have decided to have a meeting this coming Saturday, myself and Julius with Dorothy, my sister from Kenya, because she's also um, organizing a very big event basing on gender-based violence. So I thought Julius said it would be good if we could have a meeting so that it will be a learning platform for me to learn more from my sister Dorothy. Then immediately after that meeting, Saturday, I will also now have a time to a meet up with the student union government in my university to discuss these plans with him, so that from there
Okay.
we'll take it up. So far, so good. This is what we've done so far on the ground. Thank you for the
Very
audience.
exciting. Very
Thank
good.
you, Amara. Thank
Congratulations.
you,
Beautiful
Amara.
plans.
Uh, this was very, very constructive, very nice. So, Abel Shiro has raised his hand. Please, Abel.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk to the rest of the team and getting to hear these powerful, wonderful plans from across the continent and what is happening. I will start by talking about colonialism. That was a good question that was posed to us. Colonialism is coming from the word colony. The one who is strong eats the weak one. If you have more money, you look down upon those who don't have money. If you have power, just like that. So there is neo-colonialism that is happening now. We know of the old colonialism of the other countries or upon other countries, especially in Africa. But it is now happening even in within the countries themselves, and neo-colonialism is happening. So it is there. And the one of the ways of mitigating this one is to raise the lowly. So if you are colonized, you are made powerful. If you are colonized by not having money, then you are given ways of making money and you get as powerful as the other one. If you don't have peace, it means you are colonized by those who have peace somehow, if I can put it like that. So we are here to address issues that will bring out the human in people. And it could be in various forms. It could be in addressing non-violence, in addressing violence that is across the world by promoting non-violence. And talking about World March, I was citing that it is possible to reach all these capital cities in these 5 countries where we have base. I meant that we have contacts of people who are doing activities in those towns and in those cities. So those who have connections in other countries, in other towns, they can bring that on board so that we start organizing and coordinating activities for peace and non-violence in those areas and in those regions that we may not be able to reach, so that all of us can be speaking in one voice all the way from West Africa in Sierra Leone, all the way to Tanzania, Arusha, and down to other countries. That is how I look at it. So it calls for proper and good coordination, especially for those who are on the ground, to have this message going across and everyone understanding this one. So how best can this message reach those ones who still don't know what is happening, what we are planning? How can we be able to package it in this discussion so that we can share it in as it can be a soft copy or something, a summary of what we have discussed today. Antonio was giving very good highlight that needed to be captured and shared across board. other than because it's very expensive to march around all these places like it has been cited. But it can be easy if we package something and share it out to the rest of the people who are willing to join us in the World March. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Abel. It's very beautiful and very clear. And there is an article about neocolonialism in English that was published in Presenza last week that summarizes what the two presenters, that is Mali Kentucky and also Florbella Malaquias from that you have heard of from Angola. Two women, powerful women with very clear minds that were the main speakers of the forum.
Yeah.
So that is something that is well translated and you will enjoy it very much. Will give you ideas and inspiration. And we can put them on the list. I mean, tonight, or I will pass them to Julius. They came to my hands today only.
Thank you, Antonio. This is very valuable because all the documentation and we have to be masters in what to do, but we have to be masters in how we disseminate all this we are doing so it can be in like an exponential process moving. Like you mentioned one day, like a snowballing effect, So we do things and we share it, and the snowball goes bigger and
Everywhere.
bigger. Okay.
I was thinking while Dorothy was talking about the painting events with children, how we could take pictures of all this, because several countries had similar ideas, and we can publish a book exclusive for that generation of children about all the wonderful things that they are doing today in different countries of Africa. Like the book of the World March that you have seen, we can edit it and we can reproduce in internet, and everybody could have that. It's very inspiring for families, for schools, for everything. So it's a good thing. I don't know. You give it a more thinking to that, and then who knows? We can do something together.
Yeah, we can act through this concept of demonstration effect. You can look it up in the New Humanist Dictionary, the definition. It is a very powerful concept, how you can do things in one place and it can be repeated in thousands and hundreds of thousands, million places where you have the same situation. So anyone wants to add to those plans that are being made in the different countries? Please step forward, because I think that really it so happens that the time is exactly 18 hours, exactly 1 hour.
I had to join a meeting, but Tracy didn't say anything.
Please, yeah, Tracy, you want to say? Please.
Ragnar too. No,
Ragnar, please.
You have to excuse me.
I didn't say anything because I didn't say anything because Kertan has said everything that was supposed to be said. He represented us.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. But we are working together, and we are coming up with a good plan. Just as Kertan has said,
right.
Next week we are going to talk to the manager for Tegla, and then also we are planning. They're planning on how to come. So when they come, we'll also do some advertisement, and also they'll talk about the World Match. We are hoping in the televisions and radio. So we are trying our best, but I know it will be possible, and that is going to be successful. And also, Ragnar had come up with a very good idea. I want him to share the idea about what he told me, because now I'm in Tana River, where I have a tribe called the Ormas and the Pokomos, and they always fight. There's always been a tribal war here. And so we sat down and we came up with an idea where we'll want all these two tribes to work together. So we came up with a school. So because we came up with a school, the Orma, they have to go to that school. The Pokomos have to go to that school. Then through that school, we also have adult education, because the parents of the children also wanted to be taught, because they've never been to school. So through that, we can tell them, because they're working together, they have to love each other, because we'll be having group works, we'll be having discussion, and through that we can bring the humanist harmony, where we say peace and nonviolence. And so we are also praying that there'll be more action and more peace, because this part of the world now here, we call it another part of the world, because our government, Kenya, has really neglected them because of the war, because they are always fighting. They've never agreed. There's no development. I think you saw what I sent. People just living in funny houses. That's because every time they're fighting and they're moving. So we want to stop that. We want to start with their kids. We tell them we can live in a place where there is no violence. We can stop a religious war, because there are Christians and Muslims fighting all the time. We can stop that. Yeah. So apart from what I'm doing now, Ragnar is going to explain more.
Yeah.
Because he also has a very nice idea that there is something that he wants us to do, and I think it can apply to other people when it's Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. So since he's there, he'll talk. Thanks.
Thank
Ragnar,
you.
please, can you follow up on Tracy's?
Yeah, it is a wonderful thing Tracy is doing there. You saw the photos. She's building the school and everything. But I was coming up with the idea that we would have a very big human peace sign with the people there, so they can feel the peace. And we will focus on that. I will visit this place when I come to Kenya now. That is the plan. But it's very nice to see how many people are here. I see this is growing and things are working.
Everybody is pulling the creative forces. So that's fantastic. No?
Yeah. Did you record the meeting, Julius?
Yes.
Yes.
Make it circulate now. Yes.
Let to see it was working. But it's so nice to see how many you are here, and me and Tracy and Opala and Paris had a very nice meeting yesterday, and we were talking about these videos, and maybe more people can make some small videos and share it, like telling about what is the third world march about. Like Tracy wants to have some music in the background and tell about what it is all about, and also Obala have some ideas of how he wants it to be. So we will try if more people make some short videos to tell what is the World March for me, and we can share it among people. You just take a short video and you share it on the group, Third World March, and it can come a lot of ideas and enthusiasm. Hi, Abel.
Very powerful testimonials. Yeah.
It's very nice, very nice. So, Antonio, you wanted to wrap things up, or?
No, what happens is that I should have been in a meeting of internal work. I mean, like 10 minutes back. So I
Oh,
want
so
to, if
that's,
you allow me, I will cross into that.
yeah, yeah.
But we are in touch, and I am very impressed with everything that you have said. So we'll
Okay.
carry on like that, and I wish you lots of success in the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And I'll
Thank
send that
you.
material, I promise.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank
Cheers.
you, Antonio. Thank you.
Peace, force, and joy for all of you.
Peace,
Yeah,
force, and
peace,
joy
force,
to you
and
too.
joy for all of
Aye.
you. We will
Okay.
call them to this now,
Can you,
and
Julius,
I
can
will
you
go.
copy the chat? Can you
Pardon?
That's
copy
right.
the chat?
What did you
Oh,
say?
a multitude.
Can you copy the chat? Because
Hola.
they are sending their asking to be added to the group.
Yeah, well, this is talking. This has been recorded, all of it, and you will get a link.
No, but I'm saying if you can copy the chat.
Copy the chat. How do you do that?
Yeah, okay. Peace, force, and joy. I also have to go.
Okay, okay. Peace, force, and joy to all of you. I will now go
Peace, force,
to
and joy.
stop the recording.
Peace, force,
Yeah,
and joy to all of you.
yeah. Okay, bye bye.